Hello and welcome to Morris Park. Today I have a little unboxing here. I've ordered a really nice large Euphorbia flanaganii. I'm hoping it's what it looked like in the picture. It was a pretty big sized plant, paid a bit for it, and I just wanted to see if it's as great as it appeared in the picture. I hope. So, let's get this open and see what we got. Hopefully it's a really good one. The picture appeared that it was very large. It was a Euphorbia flanaganii. Let's see what we got. Well, quite a bit of soil everywhere, so it might still be in its soil. See, just perlite everywhere. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's still actually potted. Look at that. Still potted. This out of the way here. And we'll cut this open and take a look. Looks pretty big, as you can see. Blade here. Oh boy, let's see here. Ooh, got cotton everywhere. Oh boy, look at all that stuff. It's a little dirty. I'm gonna have to blow it off a bit. It looks like it's totally covered in soil and fuzz. I can't say the fuzz was the best packing material, but I guess they had to do it best as possible. In some ways, I wish they would have actually just sent it bare root. Probably would have been better. It stuck to all the flowers here. The thing was in full bloom, it looks like, when they sent it. It is a good size one. Whew. Yeah, there's lots of stuff everywhere. As you can see, it's a big plant. Kind of taped it into the pot here. Okay, now that we got some of that removed, it's in fairly loose soil. Let's see here. Trying to determine whether it's actually peat moss or something else. It's very loose in the pot. It's a big plant. You can see it's a very big plant. And this just kind of loose in there. I don't think it was actually growing in there. So I'm going to clear some of this floss here out of the way, and then we'll go to repotting it. Holy mackerel, look at all that floss. It's just cottony everywhere. I'm kind of watch picking all this stuff out because I don't want to get to running too much sap. All right. Get this stuff where I can discard it. It's a very huge plant, as you can see, and we're going to go repotting this thing. Okay, so we're out here at my bench. We're going to start planting this. I've got my little screen here that I'm going to use. Before I do that, I'm going to have to pop this little plastic plug out of this pot. These pots usually come with a little plastic plug in it. You always want to make sure to remove that. This is a pot I've been saving actually for a while for something good. Got this at Walmart. Kind of looks like a wicker basket. It's kind of cool. I got a couple of my euphorbia is planted in some of these that are a bit smaller. This is the first large one I bought. And I think it'll be perfect probably for this plant. So let's get a piece of screen in the bottom. I always like to use a piece of screen when I repot these things. Instead of using pot shards and stuff like that, bugs and stuff like that can hide under and get into. I like to use a piece of screen to block that soil. Okay, lift this out. Now, something I want to stress here. Well, I'll tell you what, this floss is going to be a year picking all this stuff out. I wish they'd use something a little different for packing material. I got this from Dose of Succulents out of Fallbrook, California, Southern California. Something I want to stress with this, when you're replanting these things, they're going to bleed. They're going to bleed all over the place. And matter of fact, there's a couple little places here where the arms have gotten snagged and so forth, where it's going to bleed. Now, I had something happen to me a couple weeks ago, and I replanted my Monodenium lugarde, which Monodenium basically is a euphorbia. After I was done, I washed my hands, scrubbed them off. I thought I had. Even took a shower after that. But the thing is, my hands are very rough, and there's a lot of cracks and stuff in them, and you may not feel it on that rough part of your skin. It may not hardly even affect it. Better to get caught in these cracks. The next day, I was coming in from work, and I was hot and I was sweating, and I went to wipe my eyes with my hand, and I knew immediately what I'd just done. I had just pretty much poisoned myself with the sap. I hadn't seen it on my hand. I couldn't see it on my hand when I did it, but I knew by the feel. And I rubbed my eye and my eyelid. My eyes started burning real bad. My eyelids started burning real bad. And oh boy, I was on fire. By the time I got back to our warehouse, I had to flush my eye out real good. And then when I got home, had to flush it out. And it felt really, my eye didn't feel too bad, but my eyelid felt like a bad sunburn on my eyelid. If anybody's ever fallen asleep out in the sun, whether at the beach or something like that, and had their eyelids burnt, you'll know what I'm talking about. And it was pretty raw for a while. What I ended up doing actually was taking some aloe and putting them on my eyelid, just to kind of get rid of the stain, just a thin coat. And it actually worked very well. It actually took care of it and helped it heal up real quick. So please, scrub your hands well. If you have little cracks and stuff, you have old rough hands like mine, make sure all those cracks are cleaned out and washed out before you go rubbing your eyes or anything, because I'm telling you what, it will tear you up real bad. So here we go. And you can see it's pretty well got a root ball on it. It's pretty good. And it looks pretty loose. I'm going to kind of leave that. The soil isn't bad. It's not a peat soil. Try to get this centered. Like I say, you got to be very careful with these. At the slightest touch, they bleed. Kind of coming to the end of my soil supply here. I'm going to have to redo pretty soon. Probably this weekend I'll probably get new components for that. And I always usually mix my own cactus mix. Very careful. One thing you don't want to do either is plant these too deep. Kind of keep the plant where it was planted or a little above. These do have basically a caudex to them. They're not quite like some others, but they do have what's considered a caudex. Now you can see this plant right now is bleeding right here. You can see this. Be careful. This is poisonous. I'm going to have to blow some of this plant out too. It's got a lot of soil mixed in with it. And a lot of floss. Oh boy, that's got a mess. I am going to be pulling this out forever. Yeah, probably not the best stuff for packing. Not plants anyway. It'd probably be great for glassware or something like that. Okay, gotta get these roots tamped in. Get some of the soil settled in around it. I'll probably put this kind of in a shady area for a few days so it can adjust. It has been so hot here, and if you saw my intro there with my Morse Park sign, you'll see that our ground is quite dry. It's been over 100 degrees Fahrenheit here for the last couple of weeks. Not every single day, but a lot of more days than not. Cactus and succulents don't mind it. The euphorbias don't mind it too much, but when you just get one out of a box, it may be a little different. Try to get this blown out here if we can. There's a lot of soil in there I don't really like. Most times when I get stuff in the mail, it's bare root, which I think is actually cleaner. They sent this one in a pot. I'm not sure exactly why, but kind of made a mess. Let's get that filled in. I definitely would have preferred something different as packing material, I think, for this. You say it's going to be a long task to take all that out. Okay, that's good there. That around, on there. You want to make sure these arms don't get buried up either. Have to unfold a few of these. Had a few of them break off, little ones. Get some of these little guys like this that break off. And yes, the sap. Make sure you wash that off or you'll be sorry. And it won't be a laughing matter either. All right, let me fill some lava rock here if I can get this floss off of me. See, this is quite the mess. Get some excess soil off there. This lava rock that I have here, this crushed lava rock, I don't actually buy this in this size. I buy this in the large landscape size, and then dawning glasses and so forth, crush it down with a hammer. If you choose to do this, always remember to wear safety glasses or something like that, so you won't get these sharp chips flipping back up in your eye. There's another little branch that came off. Hopefully this will be okay. Now it is what I expected pretty much as far as size. Great big one. In the picture it was a little more spread out, so it looked actually even larger, but this guy's been riding in a little cramped place here, and so it's gonna have to unfold eventually. As they watch these little arms. See, they're just kind of going everywhere. Some of them are falling off, but that's to be expected with these, as these arms are pretty fragile. Come off easily. I don't think it will hurt it in the long run. In about a week or so, I will start getting it a little bit of water. I'll keep an eye on it too, make sure it doesn't drain. I don't think the roots were hurt too bad, actually, in this, because they had them all pretty much in their own soil. Okay. And this thing has big fat arms too. It's just a big fat one. That's why I liked it so much. It's just so big. And believe it or not, I'm looking down in here and I'm seeing one of the old flower stalks has actually a seed pod on it. I don't know if you can see this, but right in here, there's a seed pod on there. Pretty cool. We'll see if that matures. It may just fall off too from the shipping shock. A lot of times cactus and succulents get shipping shock, and I know lots of cactus will drop their buds, like echinopsis and so forth, and Christmas cactus, and all those will drop buds. And lose their flowers. Okay, now looking pretty good. And there it is. You can see it's a great big plant. I believe this is about a 8-inch pot or so. Pretty nice. Just hope this one does well. Sometimes after shipping they can get beat up and you got to kind of watch them. Appears in pretty good shape. Say the roots weren't too damaged in this at all. I kind of left them intact in the root ball. It did make a mess though. And as you can see, it just still got all that flossy stuff all over it. A little fuzzy, like I said, I'll probably be picking that stuff out for weeks. But anyhow, it still is a very nice plant. I like it. I think I got a good buy. Anyhow, this is Clyde Morris from Morris Park on a very hot Ozarks day. Hope you all have a great week ahead. Hope your plants are all doing well. Take care, folks.